Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with Heather Mall. She has just shared an all new single titled Dear Christopher, and I am super excited to talk to her all about it. Heather, I want to thank you so much for coming on today. How are you
Thank
doing?
you for,
How was
I'm
life?
good. Thank you for
What's
having
up?
me. It's
Very
good. It's good.
well.
I
I'm
can't complain.
I'm happy to hear that. It's just you in space with
Yep.
surrounded by snow. I love it.
Absolutely.
Love it, love it. Well, I didn't bring you on here to talk about the weather, so I obviously want to talk about your song. And the obvious first question here is, who is Christopher? Tell me
Um,
about this mythical person.
right. It could be anybody to the listener. I
Yeah.
kind of wrote it out as I was writing a letter, like kind of as an idea for like what you would say to somebody that you've lost in your life.
Okay.
And so I don't know, that name always like comes around in my life, so I just picked it and I liked the way it sounded with the melody and the music. And so yeah, just giving the person a name, like anybody that you could think of that you have lost in your life, like you can fill that in, and that could be the Christopher in the song. But
I
so it's
like
just kind
that.
of a choice for it. But yeah.
No, I like that a lot. It's like a really common name, but more of like a fill in the blank situation for
Right.
however it makes you feel.
True.
And yeah, obviously this is a very lyrically forward song, and it sounds personal. It sounds
Yeah.
meaningful to you. I'd love like any background that you're willing to give. If it's
No,
if
yeah.
it's too personal, please
Oh no.
refrain. If not, then go for it.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I've known people in my life who have had like miscarriages, and then also people who have just like lost younger kids and just close friends and stuff like that. So I kind of picked like an idea for that because like it would be somebody that you wouldn't know completely, or if you like lose somebody in your life that you're not too close to, you're like, oh, I wonder if this would have been a situation where like I could have known them better, and like, oh, what would they have brought to my life, but you wouldn't know that because they're gone. So it's just kind of an interesting perspective like that, but it's not really like a singular person, but
Got it.
but
Got
yeah,
it.
just
Got
that
it.
idea. Yeah.
All right. Very cool. Well, the
Yeah.
song itself sounds fantastic. Obviously,
Thank
as much it is lyrically forward, it's very vocally forward as well. But
you.
uh, that's not to forget like the instrumentation and like the atmosphere created too. I'd love to hear
Yes.
more like on the production side, how this all came together. Did you have any outside help? Any of
Yes,
the
I did.
super important?
Oh,
So you're
I
not you're
absolutely.
not a you're not a master producer.
It's nope,
Just like
not me.
no,
My friend Josh Northwood, you can check him out on
for
social media.
sure.
He's incredible. He produced it and he did the music for it.
Okay.
I met him through Instagram, and
No way.
because I'm not a musician like that aspect of it, like with the producing aspect. I
Sure,
can play the
sure.
piano, but I can't really do like that type of stuff yet.
I
But he
understand.
came up with this incredible background for it, and I just kind of told him like the vibe that I wanted for the song, and like how I wanted it to be like nostalgic and like melancholic, but also like hopeful in a way. And he just
Yeah.
kind of mastered it perfectly. And I have no idea how he did it completely like that, but it's his masterful mind.
But
So.
I'm not just saying this because you said just that, but that is the exact same feel that I like felt
Oh,
after
thank you.
listening.
Thank
Like
you. I'm
seriously,
glad.
mixed with everything. It's I don't know. For those that haven't listened or for those that just don't know how production works, like
Mhm.
it's like
Yeah,
it's like learning a new language. It's like you
it
can
is.
be so
It is.
talented and it's not just having a voice anymore. It's like everyone
Right.
has these grandiose productions that it's like
Yeah.
yeah, so this really nailed it.
Oh, thank you.
Have you used him before? Has he worked on any of
No, this is the first time that I've ever worked with him, but I'm definitely gonna work with him again in the future because
Yeah,
he's awesome.
keep him around. My goodness.
Absolutely.
That's
He's awesome. No,
awesome.
he did a great job, and it's so cool. I'm just so glad that it sounds the way it does.
Very cool. Yeah, obviously speaking of, I want to keep the focus on the song, but I also like we're at the top of the year right now. So I can
Mhm.
only hope that this is not the last thing to come. That you're not just like a one and done
No.
type person where you put
I'm
out
like,
your
yeah, no,
music
I'm
back
like,
and
music's good.
just be a recluse and then see you
Right,
next
right. I'm like,
January.
yeah, I'm done with music now. This is it. This is
Yeah.
all that you're getting. No, I'm working on some other singles right now, and then I also am hoping to do like an EP sometime throughout this year, closer to maybe the second half of the year,
Sure, sure.
but definitely hoping on that.
Nice. Are you the type of artist or musician that's always trying to work towards the next thing? Like, I assume you've got a voice notes app that is just
Yep.
constant.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
my voice notes are just I always forget to title them too, and so it's just like
of
voice
course.
recording like 400 or something, and it's just like ridiculous
Like,
amounts of
oh,
numbers.
was it 400 or
Right.
242 or
Right, it's
just gotta go
somewhere in there.
something. Gotcha.
But yeah, I definitely try to keep like a schedule because otherwise I procrastinate way too much and I lose track, and so
I
I
understand.
definitely try.
Well, so what comes first for you? Like, do you have a specific process that you work, or does it
Um,
just come like lyrics or like a bass line
yeah.
comes in your head? Like, how do
It's
you?
definitely sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. I
Sorry.
was just saying, how do you
Oh.
work?
It's definitely more like I start with just writing and then I come up with a melody for the lyrics. Just because like I used to write when I was a kid and I would just like write random stuff, and so it's easier for me to kind of like think of a topic or just randomly like inspire something and then just write it down, and then I'll kind of listen like in my head to like what I think the music would sound like, and then I
Sure,
come up with a
sure.
melody for it, if that makes sense. And then sometimes I do just like play a chord progression and try to come up with something random, and so but it's mainly the lyrics are first and then the melody and then the music afterwards.
That makes sense. That seems pretty straightforward, but everyone has their own different process in some way.
True. Yeah.
Is there any person or band or thing that you channel when you're trying to make music?
That's a good question. I am obsessed with Sarah Bareilles. I'm a big fan of
She's
hers, and
awesome.
so I just love her so much. I could talk about her all day. She's so good, but I just love the way she writes, and I just love her music in general, and just I try to like focus on getting the lyrics to be like really nuanced and just to have it have a good meaning behind it first, and then I
Yeah,
would go back and do the music. But I love her and like Carole King and all that
the
stuff. John
classics.
Bellion's a big one too. So all of those,
Very
all of
good.
those
So
bands.
how long have you been making music for?
Professionally since like 2019, so right before the pandemic.
Oh,
But yeah,
perfect
and then
timing for an
yeah,
independent artist. Good
yeah,
job.
absolutely, yeah. So right around then, but I've been singing ever since I was in like first grade, and so I've just
Gotcha.
loved singing all my life. But yeah.
Well, okay then. So like what was the thing that pushed you over the edge from amateur to professional? Like the thing that was like, okay, I really enjoy music, but this is like I want to make a real song. Like I want to go through the
Right.
process.
Right. I'd say around like 2016, I really started getting into writing and wanting to like create my own music, but I didn't
Okay.
really know how to do it. Um, just kind of like just life experiences and just like wanting to put out my own music and like my point of views and perspective about it and stuff like that. Um, but then after I graduated college in 20, because I graduated right before the pandemic, I was like, oh, I'm gonna write, I'm gonna do some original stuff, and everything was like, oh, okay, so that was
Sure,
how that
sure.
went. But it was just kind of like taking that step, like, oh, I graduated, now I kind of want to just focus on doing this, and so that was how that happened.
Got it. I
Yeah.
don't usually ask this question, but I'm interested from a singer-songwriter
Yeah.
perspective, especially someone that's always looking for new things to write about. Do you ever find yourself putting yourself in interesting situations in order to like get a story to write about? I don't
That's a
mean
great
sorry,
question.
I don't mean
That's a
that in
great
a way
question.
it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go get in trouble tonight so I can
No,
write a song about it tomorrow.
no, I get it.
You
I
kind of
totally
go
get
this
it.
like, okay, cool.
Yeah. I would say I probably do that definitely because I could. Yeah, definitely. Because I love like traveling too and stuff, and so like I'll
Sure.
force myself to like go to different places just to
Yeah,
like be inspired by it. If that's the same thing, and then just like write about different things like that. I wouldn't say
totally.
like certain situations like with other people, but definitely like going out and seeing new things would definitely inspire me to write like
Fully
that.
agree. I'm actually doing
Yeah,
that right now as we speak.
nice.
I'm in a different country by myself,
Oh, there you
just
go.
like
Awesome.
living life.
Great.
So I understand. I
Nice.
understand. But
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like I don't know, as an artist it's interesting because when music comes across as, not genuine or not original or something like that,
Right.
typically someone that's listening to the lyrics can feel it. And I feel that there is a sort of like genuineness that comes through in this song. Like it's something that
Thank
you've
you.
lived through before. It's something that a message that you want to get out, and it's not like I'm going to the club tonight, and like you know what I mean, like every
I
other
can't
stupid
relate.
pop song.
Right, right. Yeah, I definitely don't
Uh,
relate to things like that. So, but yeah, I just kind of like to look and like, I'm a very emotional person when it comes to things, and
sure,
so I
sure.
like to just sit down and write a bunch of. I'll try to be poetic, but like the way I write is more of my poetry because like standard poetry I'm not too good at, but just like explaining through lyrics is my thing to do. So that's what I do.
I much prefer that method.
Oh, thanks.
Great job. Okay, so
Thank you.
now that you're like you're doing this, you're in it, you're making
Right.
music, and you've been through the process multiple times. Is there something that you look forward to the most throughout the entire process? I mean, from like the thinking about a song to like the finally clicking submit on it.
Yeah, I really like the beginning of creating a song, just because like it has so many opportunities to go in so many different directions. And
Sure.
then because the recording part I'm not crazy about because like
No?
whenever I do
Oh,
like different takes of singing it, I'll hear it and then I'll be like, no, I want to do it a different way. And then I'll have like a finalized version and I'm like, oh wait, no, this isn't the way I want it. So
totally.
I'm very picky about my voice in general and like
I
I'll
understand.
because when you perform live you can do it different anytime and so like hearing a
Right.
finalized version of it it's like, oh, I don't know if I want it that way. So that's kind of the hardest part of a recording process for me, but then also yeah, when you finish it and submit it and it's done, it's like, oh, that's good. So that
That's
we're
good.
good with it
Time
now.
to stop being a perfectionist about it. There's
Right.
nothing I can do about it. Also, I just feel like what you mentioned about the beginning part, like the formulating of it, there's got to be like a honeymoon phase feeling of like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it doesn't matter what medium you're making art in, whether it be painting or drawing or making music, like
Yeah.
actually seeing the ideas in your head come out
Right.
and to be something, you're like, oh yeah, like I am a musician. There's that whole
Right.
feeling of like
Yeah.
faking it. But you kind of do need to
Absolutely.
fake it. Everyone needs to fake it
Right.
at some point.
No, yeah. Also a feeling that I go through too because it's like sometimes I feel like, oh, is this good enough to like put out or something like that, and then
Yeah.
you just kind of realize like, oh well, it's what you want to say, it's your art, and anybody could take it any way they want and like interpret it in any way, and so it's
Right.
like, yeah, enjoy, and everybody has a different perspective to put out there, so it's I just try to remind myself of that every time I'm recording. I'm
Right.
like, it's gonna be fine, but
And
yeah,
yeah, try to have fun with it. Because the more you
right,
think about it, the more you're like, oh, this is a job now. And I'm not
yeah,
having
yeah,
fun.
that's
I
true.
understand. What do you feel that your music says about you? Like, what feelings do you want to leave the listener with?
That's a great question. I've always wanted to just inspire people to kind of just follow their dreams and stuff like that. And, I know it sounds cliche, but like I've always,
Cliche for a
I've always,
reason.
yeah, that's true. I've always just wanted to have like, because with my first song, Lucky, I always wanted people to like hear it and be like, oh, I can think of somebody special in my life. And like, I just want somebody to be able to listen to my music and like feel what I was feeling, but in their own life, obviously. And just anything that could like help somebody or inspire somebody, that's my goal.
Great answer. Great answer. Now, I know shows are obviously up in the air at this point. I hate like
Yeah,
even
I know.
talking about that.
It's
But
awesome.
in a perfect world, is playing shows something that you are doing, have done, look forward to doing things in the future?
I just did my first virtual concert a few days ago, so that was fun. I did like
Oh,
a
how did
live
that go?
stream. It was good. I was nervous because I was afraid like my internet was gonna go out or something, but it was really fun because it was on YouTube and my friends and family came, so it was cool. And then it's
Very
just
cool.
like a fun way because it was the first time I've ever performed my like original music live,
Oh
and so it
wow.
was
Okay.
cool. Yeah, and so I'm excited to like start doing shows when everything is okay and like safe and everything like that.
Sure, sure,
But
sure.
I would love to do them constantly. It'd be awesome.
I know people sort of, in a way, badmouth like the virtual aspect of like going to
Yeah.
shows, but I feel like on the performer's end, did it take off like the feeling of nervousness a little bit? I don't know.
Yeah.
The feeling of like being backstage and coming out to an audience full of real people has to be absolutely terrifying. So the fact that you
I
could
it
do
depends.
this from your home,
It,
probably a little bit
yeah,
better.
it depends because like I like going in front of people, but
Okay.
if it's a smaller crowd, I freak out if that makes sense. And so
No, no,
like,
no. That would
yeah,
completely make sense. I would
because I'm
rather
like
go out into a
everybody's
crowd
like,
of 20,000 than a
right,
crowd of 10.
Right, I know. It's just because like you could see everybody's eyes and you're like, oh hey, what's up? And so
Too much
definitely having
pressure.
it virtually, it was a lot more calming. Because I was like texting my friends who were watching it beforehand, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go
Yeah,
on stage. They're like,
yeah.
cool. And I was like, okay, this is this is good. But yeah, it was definitely less nerve-wracking. And other people like in other parts of the world can watch it too, because I have family that lives all over the place, and so
Okay.
it was a really cool experience. So I like virtual stuff. It's fun, but I
I
definitely
agree.
can't wait until it's personal
Gotta, yeah, you
or
gotta
in
take
person.
advantage. Gotta take
Yeah,
advantage and do what you can at this point.
true.
So as I mentioned, we are recording this at the top of the year right now. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of Heather in January 2023. What are
Okay.
some things that you would like to accomplish, whether they're crazy, lofty goals or more manageable things? Is there anything that
Mhm.
you're really looking forward to this year?
I definitely want to get a couple more singles out there, and I really want to do an EP that I've been having an idea for a long time. So I want to get that out there by next January at least.
Cool, cool,
And so
cool.
yeah, I'm really excited to work on it because I have a couple of friends who I'm going to be working on it with, and so I'm just excited for it.
Fantastic. Okay, then on the flip side of that, take music out of the equation for a moment.
Cool. Yes.
Not about music anymore. How would you like to work on yourself as a person this
Oh, that's a
year?
good question. Um, I I really like running and I want to train to do like a marathon eventually. And so I just started and I'm doing like a 5K right now. And
Cool.
so that's what I'm working toward. I know it takes a long time, so definitely
Yeah.
more advanced in that. And then I'm a big nature person and I love birds. And
Very
so
cool.
I don't know if you know anything about bird watching or birding, but I just love seeing new species. So I'd love to see more of those and like just really get in touch with myself because I love going through nature and like it feels so peaceful. And so anything in nature, I'm good.
I agree on the nature part of things. I do
Yeah,
know nothing about birds,
it's
but
okay. It's okay.
not opposed to like a bird watching lesson or something like that.
It's so fun. It's because there's
Yeah,
so many things out there, and it just kind of like inspires me to write even more. Because like
there you
there's
go.
so many undiscovered and like things that you haven't seen, and it's really cool to think about. And so
Very
that's kind of where my
cool.
mind's at. But
I
yeah,
love that.
yeah,
Okay, I've got a couple more questions for you at this
yeah.
point. But I want to know, what are you listening to? Is there anything that you can recommend,
Oh gosh,
like
that's a great
single
thought.
wise, album wise, anything that's coming out
Oh
this
man.
year that you're like, oh yeah, my favorite artist is.
Oh man, I listen to like a lot of the same music when I like kind of work on things just because it inspires me.
Sure.
But I listen to a lot of my friends' music because a lot of my friends are musicians
Yeah,
too,
shout
so
them
I
out.
listen to their stuff. Let me hold on, let me get my list. I have a
Please,
couple friends who
please.
make music. My one friend makes music under the name Madame Blue, and so it's on Instagram. I'll post her. It's
Sure,
amazing.
sure.
And yeah, my one friend is coming out with music sometime this year. She hasn't picked an artist name yet, but I'm excited for her to do that. And then
That's
my
cool.
other
That's
friend,
cool.
he goes under Anxiously Awake, and so it's just a lot of cool people. And so that's what I listen to. But yeah, I listen to my
Awesome.
friend's stuff.
No, I would actually much rather you shout out the people that need to be shouted out than
No,
the
yeah.
people that have already achieved maximum fame. So that's awesome.
Great.
Cool. I have one more question for you, and it's how I like to wrap these up. Basically, the question is for the person that is going to discover you from this, and for the person that is going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
Oh gosh. Hi. First of all, thank you for listening to my music. I hope that it can give you any type of inspiration or help in whatever way you need, and just to find, I would say like creativity processes and stuff like that. Anything that gets your mind moving and like helps you to either like stay calm or experience life in a different way. Anything like that. But I hope you listen to my music and it helps you to want to like live more fully, I guess you would say. But yeah.
Fantastic answer.
Cool. Oh, thanks.
Fantastic conversation. Heather, I want to thank you so much for your time. This has been
Thank you.
great. And
Thank you.
I will shout out your music for everyone out there. The song is
Oh,
called Dear
thank you.
Christopher. Listen to it, send it to your friends, listen to the lyrics. We will have obviously everything posted
Cool.
below so you can check it all
Awesome.
out. But yeah, seriously, thank you so much for your time. This has been
Well,
great.
thank you so much. I
You're
really
very
appreciate it.
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I hope to speak soon and have a
For
great
sure.
rest of your day.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Bye bye.